What would you do if you caught the person you loved most in the world lying straight to your face about where he was going and who he was going to meet? 3 days before Jake was supposed to leave for his very important work conference, I found the proof. Flirty late-night texts. A hotel reservation for two. Her name was Sarah, his coworker he always swore was just a friend. He even packed while humming happily, kissed me on the forehead, and said, "I love you, Em. I'll call you when I land." I didn't scream. I didn't cry in front of him. I didn't send one angry text. Instead, I smiled sweetly, told him to have a safe flight, and watched him walk out our door like everything was perfect. But while he was dreaming about his little getaway, I was making quiet moves. I booked my own ticket. I made one very important phone call. And I showed up at that airport 2 hours early, dressed like I owned the place. I stood at the arrival's gate, heart pounding, waiting for him to walk out, arm around her, big stupid grin on his face. When he finally saw me standing there, and saw who was right beside me, his entire world collapsed in half a second. But trust me, the real damage was only just beginning. It started with one innocent notification while Jake was in the shower. His phone lit up on the kitchen counter. Just a preview. Enough to stop my heart. "Can't wait to finally have you all to myself this weekend," face-blowing kiss, Sarah. Sarah. The same Sarah he always described as super professional, nothing more. The same Sarah, whose name kept popping up in group chats, he quickly closed whenever I walked in. I didn't open the messages. Not yet. I just stared at the screen until it went dark, then handed him the phone when he came out towel-drying his hair. He kissed my cheek. "Thanks, babe." That night, he told me about the conference. Last-minute thing. Important client. 2 nights in Chicago. He'd be back Sunday afternoon. I nodded, smiled, asked if he needed me to pack anything. The next morning, I went digging. Deleted texts don't stay deleted forever if you know where to look. Hotel confirmation email in the trash folder. King bed. Late checkout. 2 breakfast vouchers. My hands shook so hard I almost dropped the laptop. He came home from work whistling. Kissed me like nothing had changed. Told me how excited he was for the opportunity. I cooked his favorite dinner. Laughed at his jokes. Helped him pick out outfits. "This blue shirt looks great for presentations," I said, folding it neatly while picturing him wearing it on a date. He left the next morning with his suitcase, hugged me tight at the door, and said, "I love you, Em. Miss you already." I watched his car disappear down the street. Then I cried. Hard. For maybe 20 minutes. After that, I got to work. Because while he was boarding his flight thinking he had everything under control, I was already buying my ticket to the same airport and making one phone call that would change the rest of his life. For 3 full days, I became a ghost in my own relationship. Jake texted me from the airport. "Boarding now, babe. Love you." I replied with a heart emoji and safe flight. Short. Sweet. Nothing more. Inside, I was screaming. But on the outside, calm. Collected. Calculating. First thing I did after his car disappeared, I pulled up the flight itinerary he'd left open on his laptop. Same airline. Same departure time. Same destination. I booked my ticket. One way. Arriving 2 hours before him. Next, I went through every social media profile I could find for Sarah. Her Instagram stories were public. She posted a packing video with the caption, "Weekend getaway loading airplane red heart." The heart emoji matched the one in those deleted texts. I screenshot everything. Saved it in a folder labeled proof. Then came the hardest part. I called his mom. Not to gossip. Not to vent. I told her the truth. Calmly. With evidence. Showed her the messages. The hotel booking. The timeline. There was a long silence on the other end. Then she whispered, "I'm coming with you." She booked the same flight as me. Same arrival time. I didn't tell Jake a thing. I didn't post cryptic stories. I didn't change my profile picture to something dramatic. I just waited. Helped him pick shirts the night before he left. Made him coffee the morning he flew out. Waved goodbye like the perfect girlfriend. Have you ever smiled while your heart was breaking? It's the most exhausting thing in the world. But I did it. Because the silence was building something bigger than any fight ever could. I arrived at the airport early, dressed sharp, red blazer, black heels, stood at the arrivals gate with my arms crossed. And right beside me, his mother. We waited, together, when that gate finally opened and Jake stepped out. Have you ever watched someone's entire reality shatter in real time? I have. And it was beautiful. The gate opened. Passengers streamed out. Then there he was, Jake. Big, easy smile. Suitcase rolling behind him. Arm casually draped around Sarah's waist like they belonged together. She giggled at something he said. They looked happy, relaxed, in love, until his eyes landed on me. First came the confusion. A tiny frown, then recognition. His smile froze. Mouth half open. He stopped walking so suddenly Sarah almost tripped. And then he saw who was standing right next to me. His mother. Mom stepped forward one pace. Voice low, trembling with the kind of quiet rage only a mother can summon. Jake, what is this? He went pale, like someone pulled the blood out of his face with a straw. The arm around Sarah dropped like it burned him. Sarah's hand flew to her mouth, eyes wide. She knew exactly who Mom was. Jake stammered. Mom, it's not, this is conference stuff, I swear. Mom didn't raise her voice. She didn't have to. She just held up her phone. The screenshots I'd sent her glowed on the screen. Texts. Hotel. All of it. I didn't say a single word the whole time. I just stood there in my red blazer, arms crossed, watching the color drain from his cheeks. Watching the confident cheater turn back into the scared little boy his mom used to scold. Sarah tried to back away. Jake grabbed for her wrist, too late. And in that split second, his smile vanished completely. But what happened next? That's when the tears really started. The tears that started falling in that airport weren't mine. They were Jake's. He stood there, frozen, while his mom just looked at him, the same way she looked at him when he was 10 and got caught lying about breaking a vase. Disappointed. Heartbroken. Done. Sarah muttered something about needing to catch her ride and slipped away like smoke. Jake didn't even try to stop her this time. He just kept staring between me and his mom, mouth opening and closing, no words coming out. I finally spoke. One sentence. Calm. Clear. I didn't come here to yell, Jake. I came here so you'd have to face the truth in front of the one person whose opinion actually matters to you. His mom turned to me, eyes wet. Thank you for telling me, Emily. Then she looked back at her son. You need to come home with me. Now. We're going to talk. Really talk. She walked away first. Jake followed like a child being led to the principal's office, head down, shoulders slumped. I stayed behind for one last look, watched them disappear down the terminal. Then I turned around, head high, and walked out of that airport a free woman. Remember that question I asked at the beginning? What would you do? I chose silence. And it was the loudest thing I've ever done. If you've ever been betrayed and came out stronger, drop a heartbreak emoji in the comments. Like if silence is your new superpower. Subscribe and hit the bell, because trust me, I've got more stories coming.